Hey everybody, Lady Luck here, and we're celebrating America's 250th birthday. Now, all summer long, I'm going to be celebrating by playing on SpinQuest.com, which is an American-owned social casino. It obviously features over 1,000 slot games and live blackjack, live craps, live bubble craps. Head on over to SpinQuest.com. Get yourself a $30 coin pack for just $10.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit SpinQuest.com for more details.
I cashed out my entire 401k thinking someone stole my identity.
A fake email cost me my dream home after I sent my personal information to a scammer.
My AI agent wired thousands to an account I'd never seen.
When billions of people feel unsafe, that's no longer a security problem. It's an economic one. At Gen, we're building the trust layer for a more fearless planet with products and technologies from our global brands, Norton, LifeLock, Avast, and MoneyLion. See it in action at gendigital.com.
Hello, I'm Anya Lichtarowicz, and this is Somewhere on Earth, your weekly look at technology and us. We have guests from the USA and Europe today. It's Tuesday, the 12th of May, 2026. Welcome to the Global Tech Podcast. Coming up today, we explore how cutting-edge innovation is transforming both medicine and the future of work. We look at a groundbreaking AI-powered smart contact lens that could revolutionise the treatment of glaucoma, a condition affecting around 80 million people worldwide and one of the leading causes of irreversible blindness. The battery-free lens can continuously monitor pressure inside the eye, automatically release medication when needed, and allow doctors to remotely track patients in real time, potentially reshaping the future of digital healthcare, wearable technology, and personalised medicine. We also examine why the tech and venture capital industries still struggle to recognise women as founder archetypes, despite some of the world's most successful startups being built by female entrepreneurs. We discuss the rise of women-led tech communities, the growing importance of mentorship and peer networks, and how AI could help reshape careers and leadership in the digital economy. That's Somewhere on Earth, where tech meets humanity. Imagine living with glaucoma or another chronic eye disease and no longer needing constant hospital appointments, repeated pressure tests, or manual medication schedules. Instead, a smart contact lens could continuously monitor your eye health in real time, use AI to track changes, and automatically release medication exactly when it's needed, all while your clinician remotely monitors the data from anywhere in the world. That's the vision behind groundbreaking new research led by Professor Yangji Zhu from the Terasaki Institute for Biomedical Innovation. His lab has developed a next-generation battery-free smart contact lens platform designed to transform the future of digital healthcare, AI medicine, and remote patient monitoring. Unlike traditional wearable devices, the lens contains no electronics or batteries, instead using biocompatible polymers to safely monitor intraocular pressure linked to glaucoma, one of the leading causes of blindness worldwide. The technology acts as what researchers call a theranostic device, combining diagnostics and treatment in one autonomous system. Real-time data can be uploaded to the cloud, allowing doctors and even family members to track disease progression and treatment outcomes continuously, rather than relying on occasional clinic visits. While still in early-stage testing, researchers believe the platform could eventually be adapted for a range of eye diseases and even wider chronic health conditions, potentially ushering in a new era of AI-driven, personalised medicine and intelligence biointerfaces.
So actually, we are not the first one to use contact lens to address or improve the glaucoma management. They already have a product named Triggerfish. So it has Triggerfish contact lens. It has been approved by the FDA, US. But their mechanism is to integrate, the electronic components onto the contact lens. But think about those electronic components are rigid, are non-transparent. So the mechanic mismatch between the rigid components and the soft corneal tissue is an issue. So based a lot of clinical reports, so users often complain they have kind of the discomfort and irritation. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think many patients would be keen to put something with electronics in their eye, would they? But you've come up with an answer to that, haven't you? A solution.
Yeah. So for our case, we everything is based on the biosafety polymer. There is no electronic component. There is no battery based on our technology. So we believe this new generation contact lens platform can significantly improve the user comfort. But meanwhile, the intraocular pressure monitoring performance and other treatment, we can also maintain the comparable performance. And think about it. So the treatment based on our technology doesn't need any user operation. Everything is automatically and based on the sensor, the intraocular pressure evaluation. So once the intraocular pressure was increased to the some kind of the threshold, the drugs will be automatically released out to turn the pressure into a safe and low range. So that is our core strength of the technology.
So the technological improvements that you've achieved, just so we're completely clear, you've created a contact lens that's more comfortable than is currently approved. You've created one that doesn't need electronics, doesn't need a battery. You're using polymers instead. This monitors your ocular pressure, which is incredibly important in glaucoma treatment, giving your clinician, your doctor, a full picture of the pressure in your eye or the patient's eye over 24 hours, day after day after day.
Yep.
And not only that, you can deliver drugs for the treatment of the glaucoma. Is that correct?
Exactly. And also we use the AI to improve the accuracy of the intraocular pressure detection, and also the data can be uploaded to the cloud. And the clinicians or the users or the family members, they have access to those cloud and download the data. I mean, the data is based on the continuously real time intraocular pressure readout. So that those information can give a pretty a good reference for the clinicians to make a more accurate decision. And even they can use that information to track the treatment outcome of the patient.
Now, we are still at quite early stage, so you've done this on animal models like rabbits, and you've done what are called ex vivo systems, so things outside of animals in the lab. So when can you translate this technology from the animals, from the models, to humans?
That is actually exactly the next step. Now we are working with the clinicians at a local hospital in Los Angeles. So we are planning to do the human trial. Even it's a very little small clinical trial. We just confirm the biosafety. That is the first phase. So for the next phase, we'll continue to recruit more patients to confirm the functionality of this contact lens technology. So we do have a plan, and we are trying to move forward.
Still very early stage. Most drugs take minimum of 10-15 years to develop. I think you're probably going to do this faster because of the technology that you have. When do you think, if everything went according to plan, when do you think patients could start using this?
I think we can talk about two parts. So, for the sensor part, because it's not, it's kind of the non-invasive technology that can move faster for the patients, for the potential use. But for the treatment part, based on the policy of the FDA, even the drugs are not new. They have been used to treat the glaucoma, but we integrated those drugs into the contact lens. FDA still thinks they will think that kind of the drug is a new drug. So that will take maybe a little longer time to get the approval, to do more, clinical trial results that can convince the FDA, say, oh, okay, this technology is pretty reliable and stable, so feel free to test. So the treatment part may take a little bit longer time.
Okay, so it's the Food Drug Administration body that kind of monitors what drugs are allowed in the US, and that might be. So the drugs aren't new, but the way you're using them is new, and that's what they need to check. So it might take a little bit longer, at least that part of it. But what about, this whole concept of these bio interfaces? Because this is a massive step, really, when it comes to what are often called wearables. I mean, they're more than wearables because they're literally inside our bodies. I mean, what would happen? Talk me through, me, say, for instance, I have glaucoma, I go to my doctor. Do they just fit the lenses and off I go? And then I'm monitored remotely and, they decide what's happening within my eyes and maybe even remotely monitor and change my medication.
Exactly. So I can give a pretty successful example. So the similar technology is the CGM, continuous glucose monitor, so which is very successful. So think about, they put a very small patch onto your forearm.
Oh yeah, so you see people like this with these kind of like white discs, don't you? So maybe our listeners have seen people who have these white discs, and that monitors glucose for diabetes. Yes.
Exactly. So so those small patch can detect glucose every 5 minutes or every 3 minutes, and the data can be uploaded to the app on your mobile phone, and they can track your glucose level or glucose file through the whole day. And once it may detect pretty high glucose, so the system will automatically release the insulin to control the glucose level. So we are following exactly the same technology, but because eye is a very special organ, unlike the skin, because it's more sensitive. So for example, for the skin, they may tolerate those kind of the electronic components as long as it's small, but for the eye, for the corneal tissue, it's not. So we need to be more strict to think about how to provide a more safe and more biocompatible platform for the eye application. So then we come out, battery-free, electronics-free lens platform. So that is the, kind of the reason behind the technology.
What's up, everybody? It's Bretsky, and America is turning 250. And I can't think of a better way to celebrate that than playing on an American-owned social casino, SpinQuest.com. With all of your favorite games, live craps, bubble craps, live blackjack, there's no better place to play for free and win real cash prizes. SpinQuest.com.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit SpinQuest.com for more details.
I cashed out my entire 401k thinking someone stole my identity.
A fake email cost me my dream home after I sent my personal information to a scammer.
My AI agent wired thousands to an account I'd never seen.
When billions of people feel unsafe, that's no longer a security problem. It's an economic one. At Gen, we're building the trust layer for a more fearless planet with products and technologies from our global brands, Norton, LifeLock, Avast, and MoneyLion. See it in action at gendigital.com.
You're working for glaucoma specifically, but there are other eye conditions, eye diseases that often lead to the loss of sight. Could this lens be adapted and used for some of those, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. So we always say that's kind of the contact lens is a open source platform. So they can integrate, the sensor with different modalities. For example, for the dry eye, for the, for the AMG, for other, retinal disease. So we can track different biomarkers that could link to the, those kind of the ocular diseases or systemic diseases. So that is for the sensor part. And for the trade, we are open to integrate different medications. We also have the capability to load multiple medications to fit the different use cases. So in overall, so that is kind of the platform that can be adapted or extended to other ocular disease or systemic conditions.
This is really exciting. I'm just so I'm thrilled by this. So now, so this new contact lens, this battery-free polymer contact lens that you've developed, so it kind of falls into this category of something called theranostic devices. Tell me what a theranostic device is, and how do you define the term? Why is it important?
Yeah, that is a very good question. So theranostic means we combine the diagnostic and therapeutic system together. So that is not just a sensor to tell you, oh, how healthy you are or how bad you are. So we can also give you the treatment based on those information. So that means those kind of the system is a closed loop platform, or we can see feedback controlled treatment platform. So it's truly intelligent, truly autonomous, and those kind of the device can maintain your health by itself.
That's Yangxi Zhu, who will also be in the subscription Pod Extra version of the show. Glaucoma affects around 80 million people worldwide and is one of the leading causes of irreversible blindness. The disease damages the optic nerve, often caused by increased pressure inside the eye, and can progress without symptoms until vision loss has already occurred. Now, an estimated 3.6 million people globally are blind due to glaucoma. Imagine what impact this technology could have on treatment and quality of life. A major venture capital firm managing almost $50 billion in assets recently published an article outlining the archetypes of successful young founders, with multiple examples describing the personalities and traits associated with startup success. Notably, none of them were women. The omission drew criticism from Elle de Witt, a former tech, consulting and finance professional, who says she struggled to find relatable female roles early in her own career. She argued that when women don't see themselves reflected in leadership narratives, it becomes harder to imagine themselves succeeding in these spaces. With the lack of female role models around her, Elle decided to find her own and created the Moxie Foundation, a community supporting ambitious women in tech and business through mentorship, peer learning and real-world connection. I spoke with Elle about her experiences and why she is determined to help women have better role models than she did.
Honestly, that is a huge problem. So I've seen this earlier in my career as well, when I was working both in technology consulting, in finance, in tech, all of the industries that were hugely male dominated. I didn't have any women to look up to and learn from, like role models. And I really do think that's the most important thing to actually get ahead in your career. And that's big coming from me because I actually started a course platform. I thought I could start an e-learning platform, but I learned that actually the fastest way to learn is from other role models. So if big organizations are gonna show us the role models out there, but none of them look like us or have any, I can't relate to them, I'm not gonna feel like I can be a founder. And I feel like that's such a difficulty and such a problem that not a lot of people are talking about.
It's something so simple, isn't it? And I'm sure there are listeners going, oh, here we go again. Why are we talking about this, etc. But because
we still have to talk about this.
We have to.
And that's what pisses me off as well. I want to talk about other things as well.
But, you actually have done something about it. You're not just talking and whinging and moaning as some people would say. You've actually said, no, we're going to do something. I'm going to do something. And you've created Moxie. Tell me about Moxie.
Yes. And I actually love the phrasing even of this question as well, because I find it very difficult when people just complain about things and are a bit a victim of things and don't do anything about this. So taking ownership and just doing what is in your control to get ahead is the main spiel of Moxie even. So I think that's really, really, really important. And so what Moxie does is we're a community for ambitious women building big careers. Most of us are in tech industries. And we are honestly coming together to stop asking Claude or ChatGPT how to get ahead, how to lean in and speak up and all of the beautiful things that some others have told us to do, but actually ask each other, like learning from our peers, asking how did you navigate this? How did you do this? What are some recommendations? What are podcasts we need to listen to? What are tools we need to use? We're actually asking each other again. So even though I come from a pretty technical background, by now I'm like, it's actually community. We need to hang out with people again. So that's what we're building at Moxie.
And it's not about courses, it's not about learning new things necessarily. It's about actually talking to women who have lived experience.
Exactly. So it did actually start as courses. When I started Moxie, I was convinced that because I missed out on role models in my career earlier, that helping women get ahead in their career meant teaching women how to get ahead in their career. And I'm not saying there's no time and place for courses anymore. I think it's still pretty important, but times have changed a little bit. So I think knowledge has become a bit of a commodity. We can look up most of things on like AI tools, like we can really find the information. Also, there's more and more career content creators where you can learn a lot of knowledge from, but then the actual connection to learn from peers, to see how others are doing tough things, to actually bond together and like talk about our experiences, that is where I feel like the need is actually bigger. So right now, the most important thing, or the thing that I've seen most, is really growing in, honestly, adopting AI skills. So a lot of women are interested in jumping on the AI train, but actually like it feels a bit difficult to do. It's a bit out of their depth. Like they don't know where to get started. They know they do need to get started, but how? That has been a bit of a challenge. So actually, leveraging AI is one of the unexpected things that are actually most of the women in the community are really jumping on and are teaching each other, learning together. We're having done a lot of events about it as well. So that's one of the most important things. And then on top of that, as I said, we're 2 weeks in, but we've already had people share job opportunities and get a job from that within 2 weeks. I'm pretty pleased with that. Also meeting up in different cities for like in real life coffee, like actually hanging out with each other. So I think that is a huge thing as well, where it's not just behind the screens, it's not only virtual, but it's actually meeting each other in real life again as well.
And how do you think AI will reshape women's careers in tech?
Oh, I want to be very opportunistic. And I want to be like, it is such a huge opportunity, because that really is what it is, right? And especially for women, because in all type of ways, women are just having like to carry the heavier mental load at work, at home, all over the place. And AI can really help with that. AI can really be your second brain. AI can really keep track of all these to-dos you've got in your head, of all these like loose ends that you still need to get to, right? So AI can really help you work smarter, not harder. I know that's such a cliche to say, but that's really what it is. So I think AI can definitely change careers for women really for the better.
Do you see it as a threat at all, though?
No, actually not. I was a little bit. There's a lot of doom scrolling because there's a lot on my For You page or wherever I am. But then I kind of realized as well, like I studied information management, I think 10, 15 years ago. And then the hottest thing, the biggest thing was Internet of Things and machine learning. And I was convinced when I was sitting there like, oh my God, I will never have a job. It's going to completely take over. Everything is irrelevant. Like, you know what I mean? Like I thought everything was just like, it was done for us basically. It wasn't, and it still isn't. And I know a lot of people are saying that again about AI, and AI can do a lot of things, but at its core, it's still like a prediction model. So it can predict things based on a lot of data. There's also a lot of things it cannot do and probably will not be able to do. So I think we can definitely jump on the AI train in a sense of it can help us make our lives more efficient, smarter, better. But for the foreseeable future, mostly really an opportunity. There is so many more things that we as humans can do that AI can just not replace.
Elle de Viet, founder of the Moxie Foundation, and there'll be more of Elle in the podcast extra version of this show. Really excited as we've had a few more subscriptions this week. Please search pod.fan somewhere on earth, the global tech podcast, and subscribe for just $10 US a month. For ad-free and extra soap. And don't forget about those reviews. Please leave us a rating on your favourite podcasting platform. We really need to reach a minimum of 20 ratings on the major platforms for us to jump to the next level in their algorithms and have the show picked up for promotion. So if you've not done so yet, please do so. To remind you, you can contact us via email, hello@somewhereonearth.co, or through our socials. We're pretty much everywhere but X. Search for Soap Tech or Somewhere on Earth podcast and you should be able to find us. That is all for this week. The production manager is Liz Toohey and I'm the editor. Bye-bye.
What's up, everybody? It's Bretsky, and America is turning 250. And I can't think of a better way to celebrate that than playing on an American-owned social casino, SpinQuest.com. With all of your favorite games, live craps, bubble craps, live blackjack, there's no better place to play for free and win real cash prizes. SpinQuest.com.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit SpinQuest.com for more details.
I cashed out my entire 401k thinking someone stole my identity.
A fake email cost me my dream home after I sent my personal information to a scammer.
My AI agent wired thousands to an account I'd never seen.
When billions of people feel unsafe, that's no longer a security problem. It's an economic one. At Gen, we're building the trust layer for a more fearless planet with products and technologies from our global brands, Norton, LifeLock, Avast, and MoneyLion. See it in action at gendigital.com.